those who are back, welcome back. Love you guys so much. So this video is going to be a Q&A style get to know me. I realize it's been about a year since I started my channel, which is crazy to even think about, but it's been a year since I've been making videos here, and love that for me. But I realized I've never made a get to know me video, so you guys have just been getting to know me based on like my vlogs and the couple sit downs that I've done so far, like the chat with me's, but those have all, at least the chat with me's have mostly been like modeling, model world based. So I wanted to do a get to know me kind of outside of that, still including it if it comes up, but for the most part, you're just gonna get to know me, Tricia the person, versus Tricia the model in New York City. So let's get to it. With the basics, my full name is Tricia Corinthia Sharon Baptiste. My parents are extra, we're Caribbean, it is what it is. That's why I have two middle names. I rebranded when I got to college because I felt like Patricia felt like an old lady name, and I'm not that. So I go by Tricia now. Although like the older I get and like the more, I don't know, the more things I learn in life, I can feel and see myself going back to Patricia. But for now, I go by Tricia. I'm 25 years old. I was born and raised in New York City, specifically raised in Harlem, by my two parents. I am Caribbean. My mom is from Trinidad, my dad's from Grenada, and I have 5 siblings, 2 brothers, 2 sisters, and I'm the second youngest of the bunch. Some of you may already know, but I graduated from Syracuse University in 2019. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology and writing. I was working in retail throughout college. Post-grad, I worked in PR for a couple of years, but now I'm modeling full-time, and I mostly do e-com work right now, but working towards pushing for and aspiring for more in the coming years. So yeah, that's the basics for me. That's the groundwork that I just laid for you. And now we can get into the more interesting things. Am I a morning or a night person? Maybe kind of both. In the mornings, I have my morning routines. I like being woken up by the sun. I kind of like the solitude and the peace I create with myself before I go out and like interact with the world. But I find that I'm a lot more creative at nighttime. My thoughts flow a lot more seamlessly in the evening. That's when I do a lot of writing. It's when I edit the most, honestly. And it's when I get most of my ideas for like some things that I'm working on. So I guess if I'm thinking where do I feel more of a spark, I would say a nighttime person. But like, I also love being able to enjoy the mornings too. So kind of both. What are my interests and hobbies? You guys might already know this, but I'm a really big reader. I just love getting lost in a book. I love getting lost in the mind of different authors, of getting lost in the different worlds that they created. I say worlds because I'm a really big fantasy reader, as you may know. Just thinking of how one person could create such an elaborate world and completely unique creatures, it just blows my mind every time. So I really love fantasy. But I also love me a good romance. I'm in a romance kind of like space right now when it comes to books too. I've been obsessed with this author, A.E. Valdez. She writes really beautiful, healthy, real love and romance stories with Black leads in her books, and I'm obsessed with her work. And I'm trying to force Vanessa to read one of her books right now, so we'll see if she does it for me. But really big into reading. Another interest for me is I love music. I've been asked this before, like, do I have like a favorite like genre of music? I don't think that I do. And if you ask my friends, I think they would say the same thing. I kind of go based on my mood of the day, week, hour, or what have you, but without a doubt, I'm playing or listening to music at all points of the day. When I'm at work, everyone knows at work, like, Tricia needs music on set, and usually at shoots there's music playing anyways, but like I always need music playing in the background. I just like having background music to everything that I do. Even when I'm thinking like I'm playing like, whether it's like instrumental like music or like a movie score or something like that, I'm playing something in the background to get me through every moment of each day. I really listen to everything. I listen to Afrobeats, I listen to soca, dancehall, hip-hop, rap, reggaeton, R&B, indie music, sometimes country music, rock music. Honestly, I kind of listen to anything and everything, just it depends on my mood, and if I like the way it makes me feel at that point in time, then I'm vibing with it. It's just that simple for me. So any other interests and hobbies? Like I said earlier, my degree is in writing. It's something I always really enjoyed doing, even throughout school, and I've gotten back into it more recently, which I'm really excited about. And I've been playing with different like styles to see kind of what my personal style of writing is, and just exploring that. Honestly, it's been really fulfilling for me, and I feel like my like inner child, because it's something I loved to do back when I was younger, but I haven't done it in my adult years until now. And I'm having so much fun with it, just creating different characters and different storylines and playing with like character arcs, and that's just been really fun for me. So that's something I'm really excited about right now, and excited to see where that goes. I guess dancing would be one. I can't go out to anywhere, a function, a party, a kickback, a brunch, hear music and not dance. That's just not something that sits right in my spirit, in my head, and the way my brain operates. If I'm out and the sun is out and there's music playing, I need to dance. And my friends know this about me. They know that if I don't get the opportunity to dance, if I'm hearing good music, I'm gonna be upset, I'm gonna be irritated. Dancing just brings me joy. So if I can do that and have a good time, that's what I'm gonna do. What are my favorite shows and movies? Currently, my favorite show right now is Formula One Drive to Survive. When I tell you that I'm actually obsessed and I'm honestly maybe too emotionally invested in this show, it's overwhelming. It really is. I haven't stopped talking about that show for the last week or so because I tend to binge things. I can't not. Vanessa's always like, space it out, like slow down. I'm like, why would I slow down when there's so much I need to see? When I need to know what's happening right now. Because there's a current season happening right now live and I can't go follow it because I'm watching the previous seasons on the show now. So I have to, you understand what I'm saying? Like I have to keep going. So I put my dad on and my mom on. My dad's also obsessed. My mom's obsessed too, but she's not watching as quickly as my dad because daddy has a little more time right now. So he's been watching and we're like, I call him like every day, like, so where are you at? What are you seeing? Don't you hate him? I hate him too. Like we're obsessed. Love the show so much. So that's my top show right now. I love all the Power series actually. Power, Ghost, Tommy season was calm. It wasn't as bad as people made it out to be, but it was calm. And then Raising Kanan is fire. I'm finishing up season 2 of Raising Kanan right now. I slacked on that for a little bit, but I'm back watching it now. I'm finishing up that season and watching the current season of Ghost. I just finished Snowfall. If you haven't watched Snowfall, all I'm gonna say is watch it. Amazing show. The ending kind of broke me, but if you haven't watched Snowfall, watch it. I do a lot of rewatching of shows and movies, so if I'm in between a show or like just feeling like too scatterbrained, I'll just put on something that I know will make me feel good or laugh or like enjoy. So like I've rewatched Gossip Girl, Friends, Vampire Diaries, The Originals, Sex and the City, New Girl, The Office. Like those are like my comfort shows, I would say, that I always go back to like no matter what. And for movies, I like a lot of different things. I love musicals thanks to my mom. My mom's a really big like musical, arts, dance type of person, which is why me and my little sister are kind of similar in that way. Mickey actually doesn't like musicals as much as me and my mom do, but when it comes to dance, things like that, like we kind of share that bond. So I love musicals, love Grease. My favorite movie growing up was actually Dirty Dancing, which isn't a musical, but again, dance kind of focused, romance focused, so love that. Me, Mickey, and PJ, we love the Fast and Furious series. 1 through 7 was fire. I feel like they could have stopped after 7, but they did not. Have I watched every single one after 7? Yes. But I still feel like they could have stopped after 7. I do love Disney movies. I love Pixar movies. I've seen Encanto like 1,010,000 times with and without my nephew. I love Madagascar. I love Cars. I just love that space. It just makes me feel happy. I don't know who it wouldn't make feel happy. That's my vibe. Love that very much. Oh my God. I almost forgot to mention rom-coms. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm a hopeless romantic. I like to say hopeful romantic, but label me however you want. But I will eat up a rom-com any day. I love that the formula is literally always the same thing, every single time. And I eat it up every single time. It's similar to music. I don't really have one specific thing that I like. I just like all things that make me feel good. And that just seems to span across several different genres, categories, and things like that. So yeah, most things that I do for fun, dance, listen to music. Like, I think music is at the core of just doing things fun for me. And it depends on my mood. I kind of flow back and forth between being a little more introverted versus being a little more extroverted. When I'm in an introverted space, my friends and family know, like, just let her like rock. Like, it doesn't mean that I'm necessarily in a bad space, but sometimes I just need that time and I enjoy that time to myself. And honestly, I can have fun by myself with no problem. So I can be in that space, or when I'm feeling more social, I'll definitely like reach out to my friends and family to like do something outside the house and hang out. I do like adrenaline driven things, but nothing too like crazy. I really got into Six Flags the last couple of years. I used to be really scared of roller coasters, and now I'm like a little obsessed. Not crazy enough to go on King Dakar or anything like that, but I really do like roller coasters. Do I feel like college was worth it? Honestly, I'm not gonna say that it wasn't worth it, because I thoroughly enjoyed my college experience. I made most of my lifelong friends in college. I had amazing experiences in college. I experienced a lot of not so great things too, but for the most part, I loved my college experience. And so in that sense, I'd say it was worth it. I don't think that any college should be the amount of money that it is. I'm not even gonna talk about my debt, which like when I think about it, big picture, it's not as bad as like a lot of other people's debt. However, I'd rather not have any of it. I'd rather have zero debt. The experience for me was worth it. I don't think any college institution should be charging what they're charging. So that's where I stand. How many piercings and tattoos do I have? I only have two main ones on my ear. I'm planning on getting a second hole, which I'm excited for. And I have 5 tattoos. I have one on my rib, one on my wrist. I have one on the back of this arm, that's a lotus. I have one on my left hip, and then I have, this one on my collarbone. And I'm getting another one. If I could go back to a specific point in my life, where would I go? Honestly, I've had this conversation with my friends at work and with Vanessa already. I don't want to go back to any point in my life prior to this one. And I don't see the point in going back to experience anything that I experienced already. I really don't. I feel like I experienced what I did. I learned what I did. I don't miss anything that I've experienced. I feel like I experienced it and I appreciated it while it was happening. And now I'm just excited to see and experience the things that are coming in the future. So I honestly don't think I would go back to a point in time in my life. I don't. Honestly, I'd go back to being a toddler with no bills, no responsibilities. There was a nap time, you know, like that was a good time in my life. But besides that, I'm good where I am right now. How do I deal with negative thoughts that may come up? And what's the conversation that I have with myself once I realize I'm going into a slump? I feel like if I have like a passing negative thought, I'll just acknowledge it for what it is. I guess that's how I was feeling at that time, and it is what it is. I'll let it pass. But if it's something that I feel like is coming up frequently, it's kind of when I'll be a little more proactive with dealing with it. And that's when I'll start to journal more about the thought. I'll start to try to think about or realize what I was doing when the thought came up that triggered that thought in the first place. And then more often than not, I'll try to combat that thought with a positive one, because I don't want that negative thought to kind of root itself within me and dictate how I'm feeling about myself or what I'm doing. So if it's becoming a constant thing, I'll, like I said, be a little bit more proactive, try to figure out where the thought is coming from, if the thought is even mine. I won't say we, but because I consume a lot on social media, sometimes you'll read things and then you'll be like, do I feel this way? Like maybe I do, maybe I don't. And it's like, it can be easy to kind of like take on feelings and thoughts that aren't even yours just because you're seeing it so often. So for me, I like to see if that thought or feeling is actually mine. And if it is generally mine, then I'll work on combating it with a positive affirmation, with understanding that this is how I'm feeling at the time, and that's okay in itself too. But then detaching from the feeling and like accepting or realizing that that feeling doesn't define me, and just because I feel it doesn't mean that it's reality. Just because I thought it doesn't mean it's reality. Especially because a lot of times the things that you're thinking, people aren't thinking the same thing of you. And I feel like that sometimes we can forget that. So when I remind myself of that, it's easier for me to get through that moment or get past that thought. So yeah. How did therapy impact my life? Everyone who knows me knows that therapy truly did change my life. I kind of feel like it saved me and really redirected the path that I was on. I was literally obsessed with my therapist. I missed her so much. If you don't know, I was in therapy for about 1.5 years, and she told me when I started therapy that she's not a long-term therapist, that she is someone who helps her clients get to a healthy space that they can manage on their own. Once she feels like her client has gotten to that place, she prepares them to leave her, and then she, lets them go. You see, the thing is, when she told me that, I was like, yeah, whatever, help me now. Like, let's focus on what's happening now. I'm struggling, I need your help. So she's like, okay, cool, she did that. And she's helped me so much in being able to identify my emotions, to articulate them, understand them, express them when I need to, set boundaries, feel confident in the boundaries that I'm making, setting them and upholding them when need be. Like Beauty was really that girl. Like I miss that woman. But it got to a point in therapy when I was coming to sessions, telling her something I was struggling with, but then being able to kind of like work through it myself. And it literally got to a point where I was just talking the entire session, and she would just be looking at me like smirking, because she's like, you don't need me anymore. She's like, for the past month, you've been talking to yourself in the session. I'm just here. And she was right. She was right. So after like delaying the inevitable for as long as I possibly could, she set up a mental health maintenance plan with me that I could use post-therapy so that when things inevitably come back up again, because therapy doesn't just cure all things, just stop bad things from happening to you. It just gives you the tools you need to be able to manage and work through those things in a healthy way. So she helped me create a mental health maintenance plan. It identified my triggers, warning signs for my triggers so I can be aware of them when they're coming up, and then a self-care plan to deal with them once they did come up, as well as coping strategies to help me process and deal with all of the things that I may be feeling or going through in a healthy way. And literally doing that, I can be going through something, because like I said, I go through waves, and I'll go through a wave and I'll like low-key panic for a second, but then I'll remember that she gave me a plan for this, and I'll go through the plan, kind of like do the steps, and I'm able to bring myself back up. And I'm like, wow, not her being good at her job, like that's crazy, like actually crazy. So therapy literally changed my life. I feel like if you have the access to a great therapist, if you have the access, the means to, the time to, if you don't have the time, I honestly think you should prioritize and make the time. Therapy changed my life, and everyone that I know who has also gotten into therapy, found a great therapist, their lives have also shifted for the better. So if you don't have one yet, I beg, please get one so that we can stop traumatizing people in our lives. Great. What are my biggest fears? My biggest fear is losing my loved ones before I'm able to witness them live and experience the lives they've always dreamed of. I am deathly afraid of mice. Deathly. Oh, I am deeply terrified of bodies of water that I cannot stand in, but I did somewhat conquer that fear in Costa Rica this past December. You can see me do that in that vlog that I'll like tag right here so you can see me. So I'm trying to conquer the fear, but I just feel like if I can't stand in it, I shouldn't be there. I just shouldn't be there. What are my personal goals? I just want to point out a pattern here. When I'm asked what's my favorite music, I don't have one. I kind of like all things that make me happy. When I'm asked what's my favorite TV show or movies, it's the same thing. I don't have a specific type of thing that I like or only one thing. I kind of like a lot of things. And I think this same kind of theme transfers over to my personal goals. I don't have just one. And I think the older I get and the more freedom I just gain in my life, I start to explore more of my interests, and I realize that there's a lot of things that I want to do in life outside of what I'm doing now. There's a lot of things that I want to experience, there's a lot of things that I want to accomplish. And it's not just one thing, it's not just in one field. I definitely struggle with that in college, because in college you're studying one thing, so you're only focusing on one thing. But for someone like me who has so many different interests and kind of wants to dip their toe into several different areas, it kind of made me feel like I couldn't explore all of them. But now I'm realizing that I can. I don't have one personal goal. I want to do a lot of different things, and I plan on doing a lot of different things. And I think being able to do all of those different things is what's going to make me feel the most full. And that ultimately is my goal in life, to feel fulfilled, to feel whole, and to feel like I'm making the most of my life. So I guess that's my personal goal. What's my big five in terms of zodiac? So I'm a Libra sun, a Cancer moon, a Capricorn rising, a Virgo Mercury, and a Scorpio Mars. That's my big five, but I have a lot of Scorpio in my chart, which surprised me, because I feel like I've always presented as a Libra and Capricorn, but there's a lot of Scorpio in my chart. A lot of water, a lot of earth, a little air, and like no fire. So yeah. What are some of my biggest icks? Some of my biggest icks are people who lack self-awareness, people who can't read the room, men who manspread on the train, close your legs, loud chewing. That really just does something to my brain. I think I'll stop there. What's the last book I read? The last book that I finished reading was The Merciless Ones by Namina Forna, but the book I'm currently reading, really rereading because I loved it so much, is A Worthy Love by A.E. Valdez. Now I'm gonna do like a fun little rapid fire of like random things about me. I have diagnosed myself with trypophobia. Pretty sure I have it. If you don't know, trypophobia is an extreme fear or aversion to clusters of like small holes and bumps. And I have literally gone into full-on panic attacks seeing anything that can trigger that for me. So I have trypophobia. I am single, I am open to dating, and apparently my friends are out looking for a husband for me right now. So we'll see how that goes. My birthday is September 25th. I was born in 1997. I used to play soccer, dance for several years, from like the 3rd grade to about sophomore year of high school. I am lactose intolerant and I haven't had ice cream in years, but I just discovered the Ben & Jerry's like chocolate fudge brownie vegan ice cream or non-dairy ice cream. It's made out of almond milk, and I'm actually obsessed, and it's awoken the part of me that likes to fixate on things. I tend to do that a lot when I like something new. I'll like hyper fixate on it for at least a month or two until I'm sick of it. And that's where I'm at right now with that ice cream. I talk to my plants every morning, and I'm trying to form connection with the birds that visit me at my window every morning. There's like a family of blue jays. I've seen one cardinal so far. I've been seeing some house finches recently that I had never seen before, but they've been coming to visit me, which I'm really excited about. I see mourning doves. So every time I'm filming here and I'm like looking, like I glance away, it's because I'm seeing a new bird. But yeah, I'm trying to form a bond with these little guys. I love to travel. I've been to 18 cities and countries so far, and the next one is a big one for my bucket list that I'm not gonna say yet, but I'm going for my birthday, and I'm so excited about that one. So I love traveling. I love being in nature. The sun literally feeds me. Being surrounded by trees rejuvenates my entire mind, body, and spirit. I'm really a nature girly. Laughter is the key to life. Everyone that I hold near and dear to me will have me weak at a moment's notice, and it's because I value humor, and that's really a way to my heart. So yeah. My favorite fruit is mango. My favorite colors are green, blue, and purple. I wish I knew how to really beat my face with makeup, but I don't care enough to learn. I really do love my family, my friends, and I'm grateful to have their consistent love and support in my life. And I think I'm gonna end this vlog off with one more question, and that is, what would young Tricia think about present Tricia? Young Tricia would be so hype and so excited and proud to see and know that we love ourselves as much as we do now. That we love our body, that we love our face, that we love our nose, that we love our hair, that we feel so safe and loved and protected within this body. And I think that would ease a lot of her insecurities that she's dealing with at that young age. I love who I am now, and I think that she would be so happy to know that that feeling is coming. Yeah, this was a cute little get to know me. I think as our little friend family grows, I can do an updated one, but for now, those are just some fun things about me to give you a better idea of who I am as a person, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'm excited to continue to share more of myself with you through my channel, through my vlogs, and just connect with you on a more personal level. And I'm just excited to share more about the things that I'm working on as they continue to develop. So thank you so much for joining me on this journey. Again, I love you guys so much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye friends.